Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Part 2, December 4th, 2021, Part 2 of Revelation, Chapter 9. We got from 11 to 21. I'm going to talk about that real quick. The destroyer angel is Satan. He is leading his charge, leading his army. A woe is a shock or some type of grief. And this is a woe, and it's going to be a woe and a shock because this is World War III playing out. The four horns represent uh, man, bird, domestic beast, and wild beast. Okay, and it also represents the four nodules of the earth. Okay, the four horns used to be or is or at once in I think this is in Second Kings with one of the kings grabbed hold of the four horns. Now think about this. I don't think it says. I'm paraphrasing, going back through just memory. I don't know if the horn of the altar was hot. Okay, this was a one gold piece altogether. It was it had one whole piece together. Okay, and I don't know if you grab onto that, it's hot. Okay, your hands gonna be burning. um, the four angels. These are four commanders in the Euphrates River. You should look up the Euphrates River, but I'll tell you the four places. This is Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, not Egypt. Well, part and partial Egypt. Okay, uh, Egypt, Turkey, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. Okay, you can see my previous post where I talk about the 199 million army, uh, which is how much is the world's militaries combined. Okay, prominent militaries. I did the math. I added them up. Comes out to 199. And by this time, which may be in another few years, they probably have a little bit more than that. Okay. Uh, Verse 15: the third part of men killed. Of course, this is thermonuclear war. Verse 15 is 6 months. Okay, that's the time frame for that. 6 months, because during the 3.5 years, it's going to be moving. Okay, Planet 7X is going to still be ushering out. The world is going to be in calamities, and the 6 months is going to be a back-to-back time frame. That's how it's every 3 times a year you're supposed to go up to the temple of God. So that's how it's going. That's how it's going to be. Passover, Pentecost, Feast of Trumpets. Passover, Pentecost, Feast of Trumpets. Okay, and in between that time, every 6 months. Verse 17. This is talking about tanks. When a tank shoots a projectile from out of its front, there's fire, and that fire is cooled down rapidly with the air and the oxygen escaping. You can see a video of that. You can see a few videos of that. Just look up tanks in action, to find out, to see a tank. And if you look closer, you'll see the smoke being cooled down. Okay, to a blue. It's like a light blue, like a summery Barbados type blue. Okay. Um. Again, third of the men killed. Verse 18. They had serpent heads. Okay. You see a tank, it goes around in a circle. Okay. The tank head moves around in a circle. Okay. Back and forth. Okay. Then it talks about these men, or the rich and powerful, the merchants of the earth, and men in general, did not repent of their worship of iron, which is war, the worship of wood, which is also war, stone, which is also war. These are your basic commodities and material things. Uh, Murder, you know, off the bat, what that is. Sorceries. Sorceries is the act of manipulating fate to bring about a certain outcome. Okay, one who tells a fortune, but the sorcery, right, is done covertly to bring about an outcome. Today we call it uh, uh, problem, reaction, solution. That's what we call. That's what is considered sorceries today. Problem, reaction, solutions. Okay, um, which we already seeing it now, playing out. Fornication, of course. This fornication is dealing with idol worship, but you also know the fornication of man when it's bodily autonomy. Okay, but this is dealing with idol worship, having stones of statues and idols. Uh, totems that people use to pray and worship over to bring forth spirits and demons. And thefts, this has to do with money. Okay, any kind of money transaction that is used in thievery. And on the world stage, it's called compounding interest. Okay, fiat currency. This is the type of theft that is being spoken about here. World currency, fiat currency being manipulated, having unjust balancing scales. Okay, so that's Revelation chapter 9, part 2. Thank you for your 10 minutes of your time. If you got questions, leave me in your comments below. I love to hear from you. Hope to see you on the next video. Shalom, shalom.